Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unscripted
Unqualified.
After Hours with Pip. This is our second episode.
Well, episode one,
Okay,
actually.
yeah. A pilot episode doesn't count. This is our first proper episode today.
Uh-huh.
How do you guys feel after posting the first?
Go, Isha. I'll
Um,
let you go first.
Honestly, it did way better than I thought it would do. Yeah. Like, we were all talking about how I'd be fine with only just 10 views or whatever. But it got, what, 100, 120?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, way more than
Yeah.
any of what I expected.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Obviously, we had a lot of people that watched the episode when it came out, but those
Mm.
were people like we knew, family and friends.
Yep.
But I was only expecting that to get like 30 or like 20,
Mm.
and to see like how many views we have now, it's like crazy. Even if it is like just for a pilot.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, like, I feel like we had little to no, or even very low expectations.
Yeah.
Like, we just didn't care. But, friends, the people that know us, like, the welcoming that we got, the reception that we got for the first pilot, I think a lot of responses were like, hey, like this is really well done. Like the quality, the
Yeah,
sound.
yeah.
Like people didn't expect us to have that, ready to go considering it's just the start of a podcast.
Mm.
But I know we wanted a certain level of standard, and we did talk about that in the last podcast that, we want everything to be, a little bit better than average. And I feel like we've done that. And also, if you guys like the editing as well, you could give a little heart comment or something down below for Brachi because she mustered through. She took a whole 24 hours to edit the first time, then ran into some difficulties, deleted the whole VOD or video, and then basically re-edited. And
Yeah.
that took her 5 hours. So she's actually done very well for herself. And I will be editing the next video.
Yeah, this video will be edited by Parvin.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see how that's gonna come out. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited, and I think it'll be pretty cool having well when Isha gets her computer or PC going again. I think it would be really cool to like not tell people anymore who's gonna edit. So
Yeah.
when they watch the video, like I feel like we could really get into editing in different styles, and like it keeps the video interesting.
Yeah.
But I was actually watching a video last night, and it was about like thumbnails.
Oh yeah.
And apparently, Mr. Beast, according to Mr. Beast, he thinks that if you want to get someone to click on your video, it's all in the thumbnail. So we're gonna have to go crazy with this
No,
thumbnail.
this video's thumbnail will be made by yours truly, Miss
Yeah.
Isha. So
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna get real creative with
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
title, too. The title also has to, like,
Yep.
grab people
I
by
know,
the
Eye-catching.
I
balls.
know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exclamate like big capital fonts, like like
That
she
might-
said this.
Yeah,
What?
exactly. Yeah.
True.
With like
Yeah,
five
yeah.
exclamation marks.
Yeah.
Like a highlight point that
Yeah.
happened in the video.
Yeah.
Exaggerate it.
Yep. I didn't realize also, but AI can make some pretty wild thumbnails as well.
Like
Like you can
ChatGPT.
put yourself like in the middle of like a Great War or something, or like
Oh,
in
we
the
should do
middle
that.
like you could like put your background as the Great Wall of China, and you're just like sitting there doing the podcast.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
That'd be so funny. I had this idea. I was like, what if we change our thumbnail to like we're like in the Amazon and we're just sitting on the floor and we're just holding
No,
microphones and
actually, like,
talking.
as these videos like come out, we're gonna get more and more creative with it.
Yeah.
With like every little thing, like editing, thumbnails,
Hmm.
So yeah, it'll be exciting to like create this, like the thumbnail for this video,
Yep.
and to see how that goes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, Brachi
100%.
was talking to me about how she wanted the thumbnail of this video to be like a UFO in the background or whatever. Because today we'll be talking about conspiracy theories. So she wanted it to look as ridiculous as possible.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
like, puts a UFO, some aliens, I don't know, a pigeon, or like, whatever.
A
Like,
pigeon.
yeah, just for like random
You
stuff
don't even
in it.
like birds. You're scared of
You'll
birds.
see why I just said pigeon in a while. I'm segueing
Uh,
into something.
okay.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of our
Yeah.
first video,
Yeah.
and I think we did really
Yeah.
good for it.
Oh, also, I think before we segue into that, I think we didn't mention last video why it's called P.E.P.
Yeah,
Um, if you're smart enough and you have maybe more than two chromosomes, it's our names, P.E.P, Pip, after hours. It's not like a pep talk. You could come here for a pep talk, but we're motivational. We can be.
yeah. Sometimes we can give great advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of the time, yeah, we're just shits and gigs,
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I thought I should just clarify that for everyone watching. That's
yeah,
what PIP after hours means.
yeah,
Whether or not that stays or changes, we think of something more creative, that'll be to be decided.
yeah. Down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah. But also, like, a huge thank you to whoever watched the video.
Oh yeah.
Like, even if it was a family or friend or someone completely random, thanks for even like viewing the video and
yeah.
like, or even taking out
Yeah.
time to watch the whole
Yeah.
video. Because, yeah, I didn't expect that at all for our first episode.
Well, I'm gonna drop this on you guys now, but I think we should do like a journey to get partnered series.
What does that
Like
mean?
get YouTube partner. Like YouTube partnership. Like, as in
Oh.
like we really need to push for this,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah. But we have some other things in the background that I've been thinking of.
Okay.
Which is like obviously we want to get ourselves exposed more.
Yeah.
So filming more content. So stay tuned on the Instagram because we have these cameras that we film this podcast on, but at the same time we want to use them to film other content.
Yeah.
Yep, and we have the spare set of microphones laying around, which we can use to
do.
film. And
In public.
we also do want to
We did
include
that.
like a few little clips of like, things we do down the line in future episodes, like if we've been somewhere or somewhere memorable, and we kind of share that along the
Yeah.
journey. Because, of course, like, I always come back to this, I want to define our podcast as we're not people that are obviously celebrities or well known. We're just, I'd say we're pretty your average Joe kind of person. And, I feel like that in itself is very relatable. So it would be pretty cool to put clips in of things that we've done, or like been to places or whatever, because that's what normal people will do,
Yeah,
And
100%.
obviously celebrities to an extent are normal as well. They try to be as normal, they try to live normal lives aside from their careers, but at the same time they are celebrities because of their careers. So obviously, relatable, as relatable as we can be, I feel like is where we should go with this. And what more to be relatable about than conspiracy theories?
Yeah, literally.
Because conspiracy theories, everyone has one. Everyone has had
talks
a
about
thought
it.
about, what about this? Like, and in the world of the internet today, conspiracy theories are everywhere.
Yeah.
And a lot of them end up being true. And a lot of them, sometimes you talk to people and they're so reserved and then they open up to you and they like tell you something that is really wild and you're like, really? Like you
Yeah.
think that that's true, or like you might assume that, and you're like, oh, okay, and then you start talking about conspiracy theories. And I think they're very interesting. I think you can go down massive rabbit holes and there's no answers and you just sit there frustrated because you're like, are aliens real? Because like I want to know, like, like that type of stuff.
Yeah, it definitely leaves you wanting more. Like,
So, yeah.
Yeah, even at work, like sometimes we just talk about conspiracy theories and then like it's like an hour conversation
Yeah.
and it just keeps going on and on and on. And then you even learn about some that you haven't even heard of or like don't even know.
Conspiracy theories are it. So, on that note, Isha, do you want to start? Do you want to kick us off?
I'm starting again, huh?
Yeah, we've all kind of talked about this topic to do this podcast, and I thought it'd be a really cool topic. So we all kind of came up with our own conspiracy theories, and we haven't told each other about them, so that way we can talk about it on the air. So yeah, let's go, Isha. You first.
Right, well, I didn't do much reading about my theories because these two, I have two in mind. They're something I've held on to for years. They've been brewing in my mind. Like, they have me by the balls, you know? They can't let go. And have you guys heard of the M cave?
No,
The
No?
M cave.
Yeah, M
I've
cave.
I've
Like the letter M.
Just one letter, yeah.
Okay, no, I've
You haven't
never
heard
heard
of
about
it?
I don't know
this.
any conspiracy theories about caves, so I've
What?
never heard of this.
Okay.
Trust you to look up a cave
Yeah,
conspiracy theory.
exactly.
I did it when I was like 12 or something, and I
Okay.
traumatized myself for a week because it's a place that exists in real life. Like, you can visit it whenever you want. It's in America. And it's like in a desert area, the cave. And
Do you know what
apparently,
state?
state, no, I forgot what state it was. But about this cave, what makes it so a conspiracy theory is that anyone who goes in here doesn't come back out. They just get lost forever. Like,
Oh,
yeah, there was one man who went in there. He vlogged like everything. He would go back there every day around the entrance. And then one day he just like camera stopped recording or something and then went missing after that. Then he came back years later and he's like gone a bit insane or whatever after coming out of that cave. But this cave is a real place, right?
yeah.
That's why I think they also try to seal off the exits, like whether the government may be with boulders and rocks. But it's like the cave's an M shape, the entrance. That's why it's called that. So, you know, and it's
That's
easy to
crazy.
identify it. And I kind of want to go there.
You're actually crazy.
M could
Isn't
stand for the madness cave.
it could? Isn't that like the same with Paris catacombs? I don't know if I'm right, but it's like, isn't it people go in there and they get lost and sometimes they can't?
I mean, we've all, I'm pretty sure, seen videos of YouTubers
There's
going to the catacombs,
Yeah,
and
but
there's
they have a
people,
tour guide.
yeah, they have guides. Obviously, if you go there, but well, that's the thing, right? Is apparently the catacombs, there's like people in Paris that go hang out in the catacombs because people graffiti, they hang out. There's apparently talk about like satanic rituals and like obviously the Paris catacombs, further deeper you go, it's all human remains, right? And you know about that, right?
Yeah,
That's why,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And the catacombs are human remains because of, I'm guessing, the war, and they used it as a massive burial site. That's why it's called the catacombs. And there's obviously, I don't know what kind of people are buried there, probably war veterans, I'm assuming, or people that fought in the war. But yeah, maybe that has to do with like people.
There's gotta be ghosts down there.
Oh, I'm sure there's some
Like
bad
spirits.
juju there. Like, there's
Yeah,
definitely some
there's
bad
gotta be
spirits.
something. Wait, so how long was that man gone for?
Maybe
Like,
months, like 8 or 6 months.
Really?
how
Yeah.
would you even survive down there? Like
Yeah, for that
that's
long.
crazy.
We don't know if he was down there that long, but one day he stopped recording. The camera cut off, like him in that cave, and the camera fell over, stopped recording there. And then months later, he uploads a video finally, and he's in this like weird state of mind. You know, he's like looking off
Do you
at
know
into
the name
walls.
of the YouTuber or the
Um,
guy?
I think if you just Google like M Cave, you'll easily find him because
Yeah,
he's the most prominent figure about it.
What if
interesting.
he went in that cave to meditate?
Or what if
Like,
they're running like secret government operations and he just so happened to get caught and they're testing it on people and like
That was an
drugging them?
oh,
assumption. That was one assumption people had. Another was just like the cave's possessed or whatever with bad juju, you
Yeah,
know, spirits. Another was like just the minerals in that cave, whatever, like in the walls, the elements, like just affected like radiation.
like or maybe like you're breathing it in or something
Yeah,
and
something
it's
like
affecting
that.
your
More
brain chemistry
scientific,
or
yeah.
something.
There's a lot about it.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I want to go in there.
see, I was just gonna say I never understand people who want to go in caves, especially what is it? Is it cave diving?
Yeah, I'll never
I-
do
Oh,
cave
the
diving.
cave crawling
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen way too many videos of people getting stuck and then dying.
Yep.
I can't do that. I can't even walk into like a normal big cave because I don't know
I
what's
mean,
in
isn't
there.
that like in Southeast Asia, like the school kids that got stuck and they had to like rescue them?
Yeah.
Like this was years ago, obviously. And like they made a documentary and everything about that because they talked about how they had to go under the cave like with scuba diving gear because of the way
It
it got
flooded,
it
right?
flooded.
Yeah.
And then did they rescue them or did they
I
die?
think some of them died. I don't know, don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but it like from what I remember, because there's a movie or a documentary about it, and I saw a clip like months ago, and it was like the rescuers they came up, they found them, they were so happy to find them, but the kids thought that they were going to be taken back, but the guys were like, no, you have to stay here for a couple more days because we have to come back and figure out a plan to rescue you guys,
yeah,
and
that's
that's
crazy.
just oh
That's
yeah,
crazy.
So
I
the
could not.
cave flooded while it was stuck. It's crazy because you know how with the oxygen tank you have to like breathe properly or it gets messed up really quick.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
lose the
Yeah,
oxygen really
yeah.
quickly. You have
And
to
like
take like,
if you're in a line and the person in front of you panics, you're all screwed.
oh yeah,
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 Yeah, yeah.
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, did he go into that cave to what, explore it? Like,
Yeah, I don't think he was cave diving. I think it was like a big cave.
yeah, and he just walked, he just wanted to explore it.
Yeah, and he just walked, and then something happened. No one knows what. Everyone that goes into the M cave, they just get messed up.
Well, what if he was trying to find something that like what if he was just trying to like he knew something about that cave and he was like going in there to find something, but then something went wrong and yeah, maybe the government took him and did tests on him and
Hmm.
that's why he ended up the way he did when he got out.
What do you think? Since you're so interested in
Yeah,
this, like, what makes you? Because you say you want to go there. What are you hoping to find?
the
Are you hoping to
madman.
find the government, or are you hoping to be like, wow, I'm like tripping balls right now. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, I wanna first explore the entrance of the cave to see like if there's any, technology in there, like a camera or like tripwire, anything. Then the outside area to see if there is, like anyone watching me, whatever. And then would I go deeper in the cave? Probably, but I wouldn't go anywhere like downwards, I'd
Mm,
stay flat.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think I want to say, I mean, my take is not paranormal. I think my take would be more so like it's either something in the cave that like mentally messes up your brain, or it's the government.
I mean
Because
like minerals or
yeah,
elements.
yeah, or
Yeah.
like some
That
type
too.
of toxins
Yeah.
that like make you go delirious, and
Mm.
you kind of become crazy because you lose your mind, or maybe he got lost.
Yeah, I was
Um,
just gonna say maybe like what if the cave structure in itself made him get lost and then he just became so crazy because he was just like going round and around and around.
or the most obvious thing, he just did that for views, and like he just told himself, "There's probably nothing here, but I want to like upload again in like 8 months' time, and I'm crazy."
The
And he
thing
probably just
is,
went
like,
and smoked some meth or something and became crazy.
he did look a bit, you know.
Yeah, out of
But
it.
yeah, like as I said before, other people have went in this cave. They didn't come back out. So
Really?
that's another thing to factor in.
So
Oh
they're
yeah, he's
missing.
not the
Missing, yeah.
Wow. I agree with this conspiracy theory. I give it like a we're gonna rate every conspiracy theory today. And I'm sure even you guys could comment and rate, out of 10, like, do you think this is rubbish? One being that, 10 being like, oh yeah, I believe it. Like things like this exist.
See, it's so easy for someone to get to know a cave so much that you know its ins and outs. And then it's so easy for that person to go and like do stuff in there, set stuff up in there, make it like their base,
Yeah.
which is like the scariest part. Because like you don't know what you're gonna see when you go into a cave. You don't know who's in there,
Yep.
and you don't know how deep that person
Yep.
is.
You might
Like,
find Max in there from Stranger Things.
oh my god, it's actually so crazy. I can't do caves.
You
I
can't
can't.
do a lot of things. You can't do the caves.
Yeah.
You can't do the oceans.
But I can do
Would
a
you go to
swimming pool.
space?
Yes. I would rather spend a year in space than a year in a submarine. And I've been saying this for years. I would much rather go to space.
But you have to go up in a rocket, and if it's
That's-
unsuccessful, you just go out in an explosion.
That's
Boom.
fine. That's completely fine. I would not want to be in a submarine. You
We
don't know.
hate
You
to
also
drown.
don't know what's down in the ocean.
Yeah, I'd say with this M cave, if it's not been fully explored and people go missing, I'd say it's a pretty dodgy conspiracy theory, so I give it like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I feel like it's something that I would want to look more into and like
Hmm.
get to know more because I've never heard about it, but it seems very interesting. Purely because of all of that and also my fear of caves. Yeah, I'd probably also give it an 8. And I also feel like there's like an endless amount of theories that you could come up with
Yep.
because you don't know what's happening in that cave.
I mean, it's already a 10 for Isha because she brought it up, so I'd say she
Yeah.
very much believes in it. She wants to go to America to explore.
Okay, Isha said she'd never go to America.
Yeah.
What? But you said you want to go to this cave.
Well, I've never like been inclined to go there. Even from a young age, I've always like been put off by it, you know.
Do you want to go next?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you guys a range. Do you want a government conspiracy theory? Or like CIA type stuff? Or do you want like like a ancient history conspiracy theory?
Ancient.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a cool conspiracy theory because it's like debunking history. Like it's like so there's this so according to history, civilization only started becoming like very I guess complex and building like and being creative 6,000 years ago. But then recently in the last 5 or 10 years, they found a structure called Göbekli Tepe, which is a structure in Turkey. And so this structure is apparently after, carbon dating, which is like where they take the carbon of the soil and like they measure the structures, they can figure out a timeline of how old the stuff is.
Yeah.
And it's 9,006 years ago. So it's before the pyramids were made.
That's crazy.
And the structure is massive and it's so detailed and all these pillars and everything is cut out so intricately that like you're like, hang on, like how? So the conspiracy theory is, and there's other megastructures, monolithic megastructures that all these archaeologists, modern day archaeologists, or people that believe in other things, they are finding, and they're finding all these structures that are dating back prior to the pyramids. So basically, the conspiracy theory here is people are starting to think, was there an advanced civilization back then, 9,600 years ago, but they got wiped out, and then humanity had to reset, and whoever was alive imparted those teachings to the civilization that made the pyramids and who we are today, because from 6,000 years ago to now, we were never on the brink of extinction, aside from like, diseases and whatnot in the world, but that never wiped us out. But yeah, that's the conspiracy theory, is like, did civilization get reset and there were some alive and they went around the world and because all these structures in some ways, they're big, they're large, they all point towards the constellations, they're all star signs and everything based. And like, so people wonder, like, were there travelers that traveled around the world that were alive from the previous civilization, and they basically taught or the new civilization or the ones that reset of how to build these things and how to use this technology. So what do you guys think?
I actually believe that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe that.
You know what this reminds me of? You played FF7, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Reminds me of the Cetra, the ancient.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Yep.
really does. Like, they got wiped out. They made all these structures,
Uh-huh.
ancient civilization. They knew all these teachings.
Because they're finding things like if you look at the Sphinx, for example, the body of the Sphinx is older than the head of the Sphinx. So that means that the body was made before, and then the new civil or the pharaoh or whatever ahead of time then added the face, the lion, because that was, in commemoration of him. So it's like there were these structures that existed, and I feel like people that relearned all these things, they came and added on to these structures. So like whatever was there before, like who made it? Like did they get help from aliens? Like were there people that were here before us that helped or taught us to do certain things in a certain way? I feel like the technology that we use today is probably very different to the technology that they used back then. Maybe
Oh
it
yeah.
was some kind of something because people talk about the pyramids and they say like, oh, they probably moved like these blocks that they cut out. They're like perfectly symmetrical. They're cut out perfectly, and they're mined 3, 4, 5, 10 miles away, and then they're like 3-ton blocks. Like 3 tons is like a truck. And how did people move that? You can't even make it would be so hard to make the pyramids today. How did they make it back then?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it just like this is the question that interests me so much because like okay, so now history is being rewritten because 9,600 years ago there was this temple that the way it's made is so intricate that like you have to be like, well, there's no way that humans were more complex 9,600 years ago, not just 6,000 years ago. And that's really cool to me because it's like, what happened? Because there's a theory called the Younger Dryas impact theory. So what it is that they say like, like I think in that time period between the 9,600 and 6,000, there was a great cataclysm where there was either a meteorite shower that hit the earth and hit it so bad that it like caused like widespread like annihilation of the human population, and like it caused like massive craters, like volcanic eruptions, huge waves, the ice melted, all this stuff happened, the world flooded, and and religion, they talk about this flood, they talk about the world ending and resetting and like all these things, and the earth as a whole back then, especially like even the time of the dinosaurs, it was known to get lots of meteorite impacts. Like the earth was constantly getting battered by like meteors because of that time period. Like whatever the belts or the asteroids that were coming through were hitting onto earth. So like I'm thinking like, this theory, the Younger Dryas, it seems to match that time frame where like maybe civilization was there, maybe we were very complex and we had a different way of using technology, but then this whole thing on Earth where it got impacted by meteorites basically reset the whole planet, and these people, nomads, whoever they maybe went around the whole world and they imparted their knowledge, to like save civilization. I don't know. I sound like a nutcase, but
Like through physical
yeah,
structures.
yeah, yeah. Like through teachings or showing them things, or like, and it's just crazy to me, like that. Like, how can these things exist that are so complicated, like without like because all the stuff that's built today, if the world ended and civilization got reset, and we went like 10,000 years into the future, none of the stuff would remain. Like the houses would all crumble into dust. Like all these like paintings and like structures. Like there's only a few little things that would remain. And over thousands of years, that's just what happens, right? Like everything decays, everything breaks down, everything turns into dust, and like there's only few lucky situations where bones and whatever get preserved because of the mineral content or like whatever's in the ground, like or like ash, like volcanic ash or frozen ice. Like those things are great to preserve things for the future, but like most of everything else back then probably just got wiped out. That's why it's so hard to find like dinosaur bones. Like they have to be preserved in a certain kind of way to be seen, otherwise it probably just turns into dust.
But what's the likelihood of that civilization's survival when it came to like global
Well,
like
let's say,
catastrophes?
well, it's very likely because they survived.
But how would they? That's what my
I
like.
mean, who knows how? Because there's a temple in I think it's in Mexico or like South America where it's like the the Mayan temples, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like similar to that. There's another temple that they've found, but it's all like under like vegetation and plant and dirt. And so they find these structures with LiDAR scope, which is like they fly this camera or whatever and it scans the area and it creates like a 3D image and it can show you what's underneath the ground. Because obviously digging all that stuff up would take so much money and time and effort. They can fly a drone or whatever it is and they can do the scan and they can like X-ray the land, in a way.
Mm.
And they found that there's these again like dated way back to like before the pyramids, like or around that time where all these structures were already made. And it's like who made these things? And then there was a link to like the Mayans where like they tell a story about these people that come to them and they teach them how to use like fire. They teach them how to use like stuff to make things like tools and like how to create things. And like they talk about these guys as like people that like are from the stars, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is so interesting. Like I wish I could go back in time and just
Yeah,
see
no,
all those
sometimes when
things.
I like look at like theories like this or even like documentaries like that, I wish I could go back and just like be a part of that civilization because I think early like human civilization, they were so creative and smart.
Yeah.
And I feel like compared to humans nowadays, like they just did so much more. They were more capable,
Yep.
And I mean, so are humans nowadays, but to have little to no resources or like to start from scratch and invent something that like even like structures nowadays, they're still up and they're still strong,
Yep.
Whereas sometimes you make like a house nowadays and like there's this problem and that problem, there's a structure problem. Like that's like so fascinating to me.
Yep. I mean, it's like there's also the Amazon rainforest. There used to be apparently a city there, like thousands of years ago. Like they're finding now, like obviously they haven't fully found things, but they're finding like stuff that was made and like plants that were planted there that are natural to the rainforest. And like apparently the way the rivers run through the Amazon and like the area and through LiDAR, they can find temples and structures in the Amazon, and they know now that back then there was a civilization that lived in the Amazon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with that one.
Were these structures like surface level or underground?
They're not underground, they're under the dirt.
Oh, like
So
built
they're like
into it.
buried
Oh,
under.
weird.
Because like for example like Mount Everest, right? I'm sure thousands millions of years ago it was underwater, but because of the tectonic shift of the plates
Oh,
it gets pushed up and like all those things happen. Then you get like rainfall, terrain, dirt, the ground moves, earthquakes. Like it can bury a lot of these structures, you
It's
know?
like how New Zealand, well, used to be an eighth continent,
Yeah, because
like
Zealandia,
Zealandia.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and more than half of New Zealand is still underwater, you know?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
you say they found all these structures and buildings. Did they find any languages, like inscriptions?
Yeah, there's like
Letters,
symbols and like
characters,
yeah, characteristics and pictures carved
pictures.
in of like animals and like
Ah, right.
people, but they look so different.
Huh.
Like they look much taller, they look bigger, like
It's such a
it's
secret
so cool
language.
that idea because it's like all these structures have like a commonality. They share like, and that's one thing I feel like archaeology doesn't do is like, and this is not hating on archaeologists. Of course, I love archaeologists. Like they discover things, but like I think archaeology is like they don't factor in like astrology. Like
Mm.
they don't talk about like how these people back then they related everything to like the stars, the sun. Like they learned to tell the time with the sun. Like, all these things came from back then. And surely that has a purpose, you know? Like they needed to figure out like where's the North Star? Like when's the eclipse? What like they probably thought the eclipse was like something incredible, like or you know, like what's the solstice? Like and all these things were important for them because of agriculture, right? Like they needed to figure out when they could do their crops, when they could grow things, when they could harvest. Like and all of them seem to like carry the same idea. So it's like if one place in Turkey figured it out, like a civilization, but then another civilization in Mexico figured it out, like how is it that they were able to do that all around the same time period? Like,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah, it's
know,
crazy. There's so
it's
much
like
to think
yeah,
about.
it's like having a movie released here, but then you have to wait a year in another country for a movie to come out.
Yeah.
But
Do you
like,
ever think like more of civilizations will get uncovered by
oh
other
yeah,
countries?
100%. As the years go by, more and more things will get found out. But I think history within itself and a timeline of how things were found out, I think there's more to it
Mm.
than what normally
Oh,
people think.
always. There's always
Yeah.
stuff like being buried.
Yeah.
Yeah, but eventually, you know,
Yeah.
like now, over the years it'll come to light.
Yeah.
But right now it'll be slow progress, I think, because right now it's all divided into different like cultures and beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this civilization you're talking about, like all of it is like globally united almost,
Yeah.
you know, by suns and stars and
Yeah, yeah.
moons. It's crazy.
Yeah.
See, this is why I love the past so much. Like, fuck the future. This is why I loved human evolution in high school. It was just so fascinating.
Yeah.
And you could dive into it for hours and hours.
Oh
And
yeah.
there's always something new to like figure out, find out. Do you think that that civilization got help?
Well, it's like people either say like, "Oh, is it aliens?"
But
or
do you guys think aliens are walking on this planet right now?
No.
And they're just like hidden, or they've just fit it in.
well, I think the whole thing about UFOs or UAPs or whatever they call them now is like, you know, America say is like, you know, there were like people talk about like UFOs and like there's this one guy, his name's not coming to me right now, but he's really well known for working in one of the US like secret, top secret government facilities on UFOs because he was like this is in the
I
90s.
think so. Like, because my next conspiracy theory was going to be about Area
Oh,
51.
okay. Well,
Are you
hold
talking
on.
about? Are you talking about Area 51?
No, another place.
Because there was also a guy that works at Area 51, and I don't know where he was talking about it, but he mentioned that they were working on like foreign things, like alien equipments
Yep.
and like things like that.
Yep. Yeah, just to answer your question earlier, like I feel like in terms of like, you know, when people talk about aliens, you're like, oh, here we go, you know.
Mm.
But it's like, you know, I think there's two takes on it, you know. Like one, you could be like, aliens aren't real because like what makes us so special? Like if they're aliens and they can traverse the solar system and come here, they'd probably just look at us and be like, they're not ready yet. Let's go. Like, you know, and move on to another civilization or whatever. Yeah, it's either we us as human beings, we're just so like so self-centered that we think like we're important. And then there are aliens and they have been here and they've been here for a long time and they've been watching us. Because maybe, but then some people say aliens could be future us, like that we're so advanced and they're coming here to make sure that we don't mess it up and we don't end up destroying the planet or letting AI take over and like win and blah blah blah. But yeah, like I'd like to say that I'm sure there's something out there. Like for me to sit there and be like, no, there's nothing out there because like for us to be here, the conditions had to be so perfect. Like everything had to be so perfect. The climate, the bacteria, us evolving, like blah blah blah, like you know, like all that stuff. Like surely, like you know, we just got lucky. No, I don't think we just got lucky. Like
What I don't believe that there are extraterrestrial life forms with us on Earth, but I do think they exist out there
yep,
because what people don't seem to factor in is that those other life forms might not need the same, things as us to live, Like fish need water, we don't need that much water. Stuff like that, different biodiversities to factor in. Yeah.
Mm.
So definitely life exists out there, but it's not attuned for us to visit.
No,
No.
no, I think we're very developed for this planet. Any other planet out there, anything else,
Mm.
even underwater, we're not developed for those things, you know. We evolved to live in this climate, in this space, you know. We evolved to breathe air. We can't breathe water. We can't breathe no oxygen, like, you know.
It's the same way how, like, let's say a more down to earth example would be how if I went to Australia right now, because I'm more used to the cold climate, I would die in Australia.
Yep.
I could not
Yeah.
breathe there
And
properly.
that's just a 3 hour flight.
Yeah,
Yeah, now imagine like thousands of kilometers into space.
light
Like, you
years.
know, light years. Yeah.
How would you rate that ancient civilization conspiracy? What's your
I would
rating?
I would honestly give that a 10.
Ooh.
Just because I just love that stuff. Like no one actually
Yeah.
knows what went on in the past.
It's like you said, both Turkey and Mexico, very two different countries,
Yeah.
found the same like findings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably because of those two countries, I initially was like at a 6, a 5, but then because of those two opposite countries, it went to like an 8, 9. You
Yeah.
know, you just have to
Oh,
believe
I
it.
could keep talking about this forever. Like even Atlantis, like
I can tell.
there's
Yeah.
like I'd love to go see that stuff. That's why like I want to go see like Machu Picchu, you know, like which is one of
Yeah,
the
I
wonders
want to
of the
go see that
world
too.
in South America. Like, yeah.
You want to go there? I want to go to a fucking cave. Do you have anything? Do you have similar theories, or what do you have for us today?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I was going to talk about Area 51.
Go for
You
it.
want to? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about aliens and stuff. And I genuinely think that there is something there that's
Mm.
maybe alien-like.
In the facility.
Yeah. Well, it's a government base in Nevada in the US,
Hmm.
and it's so closed off.
Hmm.
Like fences, like wide fences, cameras literally everywhere. No one enters there at all. And
I
it's
used
just
to
like,
watch
what is the government doing?
exactly. Yeah, I used to watch so many videos on it when I was younger. And in all those videos, every time, like, when someone drove up there, off in the distance, there'd be like a car parked with a sniper aiming at them just for getting close to it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so closed off. But I don't know about aliens. What makes you say that?
It's either just to do with like military equipment or things like that, or it's like a base where they've found things or they know things, whether it be like within space or, like life somewhere else that they have kept to themselves. Like, I feel like they just know things or have things that we just don't know about.
Do you think they're doing like any experimentation
Oh,
there,
yeah.
or
Yeah, probably.
like on life forms or
Well,
equipment?
if life forms are there, then yeah.
What do you think about Area 51?
I mean, I've seen this, I've heard, and I know about this conspiracy theory
Uh-huh.
quite well. With Area 51, it was a big thing in the like 1990s to like
Yeah.
early 90s about Area 51, especially after the World Wars, about like government facilities and this work on UFOs. Yeah, but Area 51 is interesting. There's after I think Area 51 got a lot of like traction and people would always go there illegally to try and see if there was anything. I think now Area 51 is not so much probably a government base where like they I think the government is so smart. I think they know that people know that there's something going on there, so I think they fake it. So
Mm.
they've moved all their base of operations somewhere else.
Yeah, I read or like heard somewhere recently that they have moved their base.
Yep. Yep. It's and they probably just have it there so people keep thinking there's stuff going on there, but it's probably happening
See,
elsewhere
that's
now.
even more scarier.
Well, the reason they do these things is because every country wants to one up the other country, especially the US, because they want to make sure they have the latest weapons, the latest facilities, the latest whatever in the event of something horrible happening in the world, you know?
Yeah.
And if they have aliens, I'm sure they're trying to figure out how to use their technology, how to adapt it so we can use it, and blah blah blah. And if like, what do you guys take on this? Like, if the government announced tomorrow that aliens are real and they showed you a video of a spacecraft and someone walking inside it and it wasn't AI and it was real, like, I think the whole world would get tipped upside down. I think religion would be in shock because then religion would be like, well, we only believe in God and God created man and woman, but now there's aliens, so did God create aliens?
Yeah, everything would change.
Yeah, everything would change.
Everything would
Yeah.
I
change.
feel like I would only be inclined to believe the footage or article, whatever, if I saw like, a rogue journalist uploaded something.
Yeah, there's not a lot that goes on there, so if the military was doing something, I'm sure like people wouldn't notice. Yeah, unless you were like that one hippie that like drives in this hippie van, like all around the desert
Yeah.
looking for things and like, because no one wants to put themselves out there, right? It's hot. You can die. Your vehicle can overheat. You'll get stuck out there. Then you're lost. No service, probably no cell reception. You're dead. Like like, so why would people want to go out there?
It's a big desert.
There's this one story of this guy who was it was in America, and the family or the guy or whatever, um, they've been interviewed. They're very famous. I don't know their name, but you could probably look it up from the story that I'm going to tell you. But it's like they were out in the forest because he was a logger, so he did like forestry, and he was out with his friends, and they saw this beam of light, and everyone else ran away, but he tried to get away, but he couldn't. And from his memory, he recalls seeing beings around him, like he got taken. And when he came back, it wasn't that he was different, but all that part of his memory from that point to when he got back was all hazy. He couldn't remember anything.
That's an alien abduction right there.
Yeah, pretty much. So like apparently he says he got abducted, and he recalls the story and he talks about it, and like, and the people that were there seeing this happen, like him being taken, they saw it too. And then he disappeared for like a few days and then came back in the same place, same clothes, everything.
See, do you guys believe that? Because I do.
Wait, so he couldn't get away.
No.
Then the people he went with saw him being taken.
Yeah, but well, I'm not quite sure on the story because this was something I read it or heard about years ago, but it was like at nighttime, and um he went missing. Like, I don't know if they saw him being taken, but they were with him, and then he wasn't there anymore. And then he showed up 2 days later in the same place, same clothes. He didn't look malnourished. He didn't look like messed up in the head. Like he wasn't crazy. Like,
It was just normal.
he was
like...
just shocked and shock.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he wasn't unconscious when he returned.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, how do you explain that other than an alien abduction? like, like how else do you explain that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Weapon?
Like, people say nowadays, like, UFOs are just government testing out new technology. And like they've just created new stuff that they're not ready to show to the world, because then if they showed it to the world, then like countries like China or Russia would also like figure out, and it's always an arms race, right? Like with countries like the US, Russia, like China, like India, like they're always trying to one up each other in terms of like military power. But yeah, like the whole aliens thing is very interesting because it's like, I believe it, like I 100% believe it, but whether or not like I would have to see it to like be like, oh, like, well, I'd say I'm more open to the idea of it being real.
Okay.
But like I'm not like screaming out like aliens are real, aliens are real,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like
yeah.
like yeah, it's like I feel like there would be something, we just don't know.
Yeah.
So
And
you're
yeah.
open to it, not a fully believer.
Yeah, not
It's
like
like-
a full
Yeah, it's like you're
believer.
open to the idea of
Uh.
it, but if it came to a point where I were to see one, then I'd be like, oh shit, okay. Like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
believe. It's like, like people and how they believe in like spirits. Like sometimes they do, like they're open to the idea of it, but it's until they actually like see something,
Mhm.
then they start believing in
Yeah.
it.
When I was younger, I used to see like spirits a lot, whatever. I don't know.
Like shadow figures?
Not shadow figures, like white.
White, like glowy figures?
White, glowy, kind of transparent. No face.
Even I feel like when I was younger, I didn't necessarily see things, but I feel like I could like feel things,
Feel.
like
What about
vibes
you?
and stuff.
I think.
Not really. No. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might just feel like
Feel like I don't
like,
have that I don't
Never
know if
happened to you
it's
before.
associated with like
Well, okay, he actually did experience a haunting when he was a baby.
what
Do you
when
remember
I
at
know
our very
this.
old house?
I know this one.
And like you used to like talk to like the wall and nothing, and like you would do you know this?
I don't remember this.
Oh yeah, and apparently you were always sick as a child, and you used to like talk to someone and no one would be there, and like you used to play with your toys with someone, but like no one was there. Like you'd just be playing by yourself if someone were to look at you, but in your perspective, it's like you're playing with someone else.
I
Yeah,
can
maybe.
understand like kids get imaginary friends,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
talking to a wall, was he?
Yeah, and he was like always sick as a child. Do you not remember this? And then that's
I
why
could have been in a
that's
great horror movie.
that's why mom and dad left that house to move into the house we grew up in, was because that house just had bad vibes going on, and you're just a constantly a sick child.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't believe
Yeah,
Your mind
imagine like
blocked
if
it
a kid
out.
living in that house and then like the demon told me to murder you.
Okay.
Just at night with a
Okay.
knife.
No, okay.
I've never
You
had like anything alien before.
Yeah. Sometimes I like last night I was taking the rubbish out at like almost midnight and I was like looking up at the stars, like obviously there was a clear sky last night and we don't have much light pollution here, so you can kinda like see the Milky Way.
yeah.
And yeah, I was like, damn, I wish I could see something. Like that part of me in my head, I was like, people see UFOs and like just comes and
I
goes.
feel like I have seen one in my life. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna
Where? You
sound
don't
so
even
crazy.
leave the house.
No, so when I used to stay the night in the city at one of my friend's house, um, I remember sitting on the balcony with her and we were just talking, and I remember us looking up at the sky, and it was like you couldn't see like an actual structure, but you could see like a ring of light, and they were like all flashing like different colors at the same time, and it wasn't like you would see it like smoothly fly across the sky. It would like you would see it here and then see it there and then see it in another spot. So her and I, we believed that that was a UFO.
What if it were just drones?
No, because that drones don't have like a circular ring of lights that are
It's
blinking.
multiple
They have
drones and they have like light fixtures and they could be in like
no,
a
that's an
sequence.
alien. That's a UFO.
Like, have you seen the like Chinese New Year and like the drone shows that they do? They're insane. Like, it looks like a god, a being, like, and they just make it out of thousands of drones. Have you seen these?
No,
Oh, that's so beautiful.
but yeah, I believe that was a UFO.
It could be, could have
Still
been.
to this day, I
I don't
can't
know.
explain it.
We won't know.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff.
Do you think there's a UFO in the Bermuda Triangle? I think there's
Everything
aliens
gets
there.
lost in the Bermuda Triangle. People think that there are aliens there, which is why everything gets lost.
Yep. And I also want to go there.
Oh my god.
So you have to go on a boat.
The
Yeah,
Bermuda,
Boat or fly over.
but
you would get lost in both. The Bermuda Triangle is one conspiracy theory that I've grown up being scared of. That's why, like, initially I was so scared to go on planes. Because in my head, like, when I was young, I'd always think, what if we ended up within the Bermuda Triangle? What is it? Miami, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda.
I think like
That's
it's
like the
so
whole
bad.
triangle.
I think planes don't fly over it, right?
Well, that's Flight 19 disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
And so many ships have disappeared. There's like compass malfunctions. There's crazy storms in the Bermuda Triangle which come out of nowhere.
It must be like magnetic forces or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like the gravitational pull there, something.
See, that's like me as well. I always try to like science it up, and before I start thinking of the
I always science
yeah
it
the
up.
irrational thing
Yeah.
of it's not like legit, like
Mhm.
something fishy's going on here.
Yeah. I want to kind of. Is it the outside of the triangle on a boat and just kind of park
But
there.
how do you know where the outside is? Because you're on the ocean.
Look at a map. I don't know. Surely it'll be marked.
Just
You
draw a
know.
triangle.
No, it's
The
actually
water.
crazy though to think that so many planes and like ships have just gone missing there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they don't even come out.
Yeah, that's something that confuses me. There are like magnetic fields or whatever, but surely like someone's taking a strong enough vessel there. And if you just keep going straight, you'll eventually find your way out, right?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, if that were to happen, why hasn't it happened yet?
Yeah,
Why is it that like everything that's gone in hasn't come out? I mean, there was a theory about like methane gas that's like within the ocean, and that causes the ocean to be less buoyant. So that's maybe why like ships and stuff they end up sinking. But I don't know. It's just like I can't even explain the Bermuda Triangle because there's just so much.
do they all sink in one piece or kind of just
Well, no
no one's seen it?
yeah, I don't think no one's ever like explored like the ocean to see if any like shipwrecks or
Yeah,
remains or
probably
anything
not.
there.
Because you can't even like remain on the surface properly. How
Yeah,
would you go
but it's like
underneath?
even if you were to explore it, you wouldn't come back. So it's like no one would even know you'd have explored it.
Like, I don't want to explore it. I want to like, I just want to kind of like be a bit away from it, you know?
He's gonna get sucked into the Bermuda Triangle
Maybe
because the
like
currents are gonna change, and then a huge storm is gonna happen.
maybe throw a pebble there. Who knows? Yeah.
What's that? What's that water alien called?
Water
Like-
alien?
Yeah,
Aquaman?
No, like it's like the Kraken. Some
It's
people,
just a giant squid,
some-
apparently.
yeah, some people think that the Krakens and the oceans of the Bermuda Triangle, and that's what like takes the ships.
Who
You never
knows?
know.
Yeah.
That's why I was so scared of flying when I was a kid. Because I was like, what if, we get close to it and then we're pulled into the triangle?
By a
Like
giant
like
tentacle.
You don't know. You don't know.
But the plane's like 30,000,
Then
50,000
why
feet
did
in the
why
air.
did Flight 19 disappear?
Have any planes tried flying like high enough to avoid
No,
whatever?
planes, they don't go around that area anymore.
Oh.
At least I think they don't anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's way too risky. So many flights have,
Because if there's an assumed like gravitational force or whatever messing with technology, then an idea would be to, just fly high enough to.
But don't planes have a certain altitude
Oh,
that
you're
they
right,
could
that's why
Yeah.
they
fly?
can't.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine being on a big ship that you think is like strong and stuff, and you enter the Bermuda Triangle and you just disappear.
Yeah, like a cargo ship would be pretty
What if you went
strong.
through it in a submarine?
I think something would still happen. I think, yeah, you would never come back out. You would just be
Can't
so
we just send
lost.
like a robotic computer like that's controlled from like remotely and go explore the Bermuda
in a
Triangle?
little kayak?
Yeah.
If technology is so affected by it, why not just send out a raft?
Yeah.
Big fancy raft.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Even if you sent it out, it would never like into the triangle. It would never come out.
No, I'm joking. You can't send a raft.
Because like when planes and like ships have entered that triangle, communications cut off.
Yeah.
So no one actually knows what happens.
Well, yeah,
within
that's
that
technology.
triangle.
I'm saying like if you sent out a wooden raft.
We'll send Isha on a raft into the Bermuda Triangle. What are your thoughts on the Bermuda Triangle?
I
I feel
haven't
like
really looked much into it. Like I know of it. I know that planes don't fly over it, or at least I thought they don't. I know that like has something to do with, I don't know if they've explored it. Like the last time I read and saw anything about this was like 10 plus years ago. So it's like who knows, in the last 10 years have people actually been there? Have they been in the water, or have they sent something down there to have a look? Have they like measured the magnetism or whatever is causing these disruptions? Like what is it in the water? Could the water be iodized in a certain way that like in that area that like it causes these things to happen? Like obviously you go with the rationale first, and then if none of that makes sense, then you start going for the other direction and you're like,
nah.
well, then okay, this might be just something that we can't explain. Technology today isn't good enough to explain that situation or why it's happening.
But don't you think when all these disappearances were like happening at first, don't you think we tried to explore it, but obviously we were unsuccessful, so that's why it's not explored anymore, and nothing. There's
Well, yeah,
no
that's
fact
actually
about
true.
it.
Yeah, you have a good point there.
Because it's like when first disappearance started happening, obviously everyone would have been confused and like
Yeah.
what's going on, so they would have investigated.
Yep.
But it's either those people investigating got lost, or they found something that they just don't want to go near.
Yep.
And that's why there's no evidence or facts or anything about what's happening there.
But surely it's like over the years, surely it's slowly been getting updated, like the happenings, the trials and errors.
Well, I don't think there's any more happenings because I think, well, don't quote me on this, but I think people just avoid it now.
Oh,
Interesting. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, yeah, all these ones make me want to look into like what's actually going on again,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, yeah, I might do a little Google search after the podcast and watch
Yeah.
a video or something, you know?
Yeah, because like I remember I used to be so obsessed about the Bermuda Triangle. Like every night before bed, I would just watch YouTube videos on it,
Mm.
and I was so paranoid. Do you have any more?
I have one more, but it's like it's not really a conspiracy because it's actually true. So
oh, like government stuff.
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So this is it's called Operation Stargate. You can search it
I've
up.
Well,
heard
that
of
sounds
it.
so familiar.
I've heard of it.
Basically what it is during the Cold War, I think the US CIA or whatever, they founded the Soviet Union, which is the Russians, or obviously back then, before the Union wasn't a thing. But or afterwards when it wasn't. They learned that the people in the Soviet Union were remote viewing. Have you heard of remote viewing?
No.
So basically, remote viewing is where apparently people they're trained in a specific kind of way to almost like that they're psychic, so they can being in a room away from that location, like thousands of miles away, they can describe what's going on there.
Is this like the Montauk Project or
I haven't heard of
called?
that. I don't know what it's called.
That's basically the same thing where they did. Well, I don't know how similar it is, but they basically did experiments on young children to get like psychic abilities
Yeah.
and stuff.
So it's probably similar because of the CIA, they did remote viewing, and that's so it's called Operation Stargate. And what they did was they did remote viewing. They trained their operatives to do psychic stuff, I guess, or in that realm of like they could describe places that they've never been to. And like people would go see it and it was exactly like that. And it's interesting because like the CIA funded this for 20 years. So that's like millions of dollars gone into this. So you wonder like was it real? Like can people actually do that? Like can people describe places that they've never been to and like see things and like in terms of like a psychic type of thing? Like whether they're channeling something to be able to describe. It was obviously all done for like war or like espionage or like spy stuff like and the CIA like they're not CIA works outside of America. Like the FBI is part of America, like Homeland Security, but the CIA is like anything international. And like so, but they're from the US.
There's people like, psychics or palm readers exist, and I don't know if they're legit, but they exist. So apparently for some people they do work. So I feel like that could work.
Yeah, but like how would you even test that, Like
I feel like it is possible, you know?
yeah.
The human mind is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it works in wonderful, mysterious ways, and
Yep.
it's so complex. So I feel like if you were to do an experiment or train someone, or I feel like it's so achievable to do,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're living in that environment and it's something you do every single day. Like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
bound to get, maybe even if not the results you're looking for, but something's bound to change mentally.
Yep.
I feel like why would it not be applicable?
How did the Soviet Union come up with that idea?
I don't know, Russians, they love to do it's like the same thing with the Germans, right? When the
Uh-huh.
Nazis with World War II, they were doing so much experimentation that after the war had ended, the US got in quickly before the Russians or anyone else could to like steal the scientists and make them
Oh,
work for the US. So because the Nazis, they were testing some next level things, you
like
know, they
psychological
yeah,
stuff.
psychological stuff. Like that's where like you had the Operation like Midnight Climax and
Oh,
like MK Ultra, which is like the ones where they wanted to make like super soldiers
Yeah.
and they wanted to like create like assassins, like but like people that were psychologically manipulated to where they could do like your bidding, like you tell them to do whatever they do for you. Like and that was all to do with psychedelics, like
mm.
acid and like putting all that like in there and like Midnight Climax is that like it was they had like they had this brothel for these like soldiers I guess and they would like make them go in there and trip and like you know mess with them like psychologically to like create people that would just do their bidding and like listen and say no and not ask questions and
Yeah.
yeah.
I also feel like if you tear a person down enough, then it's so easy to change them
Oh
psychologically.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
if you take away everything from them and they're just so isolated, then you're fully capable to
Yeah.
get whatever you want out of them.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like that's why I also believe in this conspiracy theory, because what's there to stop it from happening?
Yeah, and you know what's already going on that we don't know about, and all these
Yeah.
things we find out about after the fact that it's done. Because
Yeah.
now enough time has passed that you can't do anything about it
Mm.
Yeah,
because it's already
exactly.
done.
Yeah.
You know, but if it was happening real time, of course we don't know about it because
Yeah.
that's how it works, you know? Like the governments do these things because what else is the government gonna do? Like, and I'm not saying obviously every government, I'm sure, like, but to some capacity, there are things that happen behind closed doors, for each department or whatever it is, and obviously all of it has to do with like military war power.
Mm.
Like, how do we make our country be stronger? Um, which is kind of sad at the end of the day because it's like we shouldn't be like worrying about arming ourselves from other countries when like, you know, we could like you know, have to prepare for something worse, you know,
Yeah.
like something to happen with the world in
Mm.
itself.
Do you guys think the moon landing was real?
Yeah.
No, I
What?
don't think it was
I
real.
don't think it was real either.
Why must you say that?
Why do you say yes, first of all?
Well, it's just a guy landing on the moon. Like, why would they fake it?
When you see the footage of the moon landing, right? When, you know, the US, Neil Armstrong, so and so, whatever, they landed on the moon, um, they couldn't stream it live. One, because there was no technology like that back then. So they had a recording, but the recording that NASA had given to all the news televisions back then, the news televisions had to point their camera to the recording
No.
because they couldn't upload the footage.
Yeah.
When you see the footage, the flag is blowing in the wind, but there's no wind in space.
The shadows look kind of off too.
They talk about all these little aspects of the video where and also Neil Armstrong, he gave a speech. I think this is like within the last 10 years. And so prior to this context is when he came back, there was instead of talking about this and being excited and like disclosing, he kind of went into a under his rock and he wouldn't speak
Yeah.
publicly about
He wouldn't
like
say
he
much.
wouldn't say much about the whole experience. And then recently for some college or something, like some university or like some space program, he came and gave a speech to the students and he it was a very eerie speech because he talked about how there's some things like this is me, you know, what do you call it? What's the word when you're like trying to quote something, but you're not directly quoting it. I'm basically improvising this, like, what you said,
Yeah.
like, um, and he basically said, like, um, don't take everything, take everything at face value, like it's not what everything
He
seems
said
to
that?
be. Yeah, like indirectly though. He was like, it was
Oh,
very mysterious. He was like, we've explored a lot, but we've left a lot for you to explore, like kind of thing. Like
Like
where
that's the vibe you could get from
yeah,
like
he
that
wasn't
speech.
talking as if like he could just sit there, hand on his chest, and say like, "We've been to the moon. Like it's now for you guys to go further." But he didn't say anything like that.
Yeah.
He basically was like the idea of, and the reason people say that this could have been faked is because the Russians were trying to go there too,
Yes.
and everyone was trying to compete to go to the moon
So
because everyone was worried that whoever gets there first will get rights to the resources, the material, the all that stuff.
that's why like people think NASA just tried to put it out so they could beat the Soviet Union.
I feel like they would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about the
And
flag,
why hasn't anyone
Yeah.
been
Why
since
hasn't no one
then?
been back? If it was achievable back then, with how many more resources we have now, why haven't we gone back?
about the flag, was it blowing heavily or kind of just like wishy-washy? You know, was the wind like prominent? You could see the flag blowing one
Well, it
direction.
wasn't like very like how windy it is here and something's blowing like the trees. It wasn't that prominent.
Mhm.
But the fact that there was some kind of movement with the flag, despite there being no air in space
It
because
was
it's a
going one
vacuum.
way only.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's weird because gravity would make it go like up and
Yeah.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just like
Wow.
small details like that that people are like, nah.
But yeah, lots of conspiracy there. I feel like we could talk about this thing for hours.
Forever, forever.
Like it's already been over an hour.
I
Like we're
did
going into an hour and a
I did
half.
have one more.
Go ahead. Yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
What are you guys' thoughts on like the glitches in our matrix that we're living in?
Oh, like when you see someone and then they disappear the next
Yeah, or
second.
like things appear.
Are you talking about like the whole idea of like this world of reality is in a simulation, and like the simulation theory where like
Yeah, but like the glitches. You know what I mean?
So
He
have
doesn't know.
have you seen those videos where someone could be walking? Let's say there's a security camera outside. They see the person walking, they turn the corner, next security camera, they've disappeared.
yeah, I know what
and
you
the
mean.
time's
Do
like
you,
the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe in that?
It's hard to
It's
say.
hard.
I don't know.
I feel like it's happened to me.
What? You were just in one place and then you
This
weren't?
is a no. Okay, so you know the traffic lights that are like on the highway,
Yeah.
not the actual motorway. When you go like towards
Like an area.
yeah, like the medical center. You guys know
Yeah,
the
yeah.
those traffic lights. So I was up like by like I was going straight, right? And I was like the first car in my lane, and my traffic light was red, but then the traffic light that like coordinates traffic going from my left to right went green. So they all were going, right? And I was obviously watching them because I have nothing else to do in my car. I'm waiting for the light to turn green.
Yeah.
And so they all went by, and I could see that there were no other cars there. But then, you know, the second where the light takes to turn from like green to red or red to,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that 1 second, I looked back and there was a car in the middle of the road that went right. But it I sound so crazy right now, but I swear to God, and then I like was so quiet for 10 minutes because I was like, what the hell just happened? Like I saw all the cars go from left to right. There's no other car remaining. And then I looked in the middle of the intersection and there's just like a car there. It's just like it spawned in the middle.
And then what did it do?
It obviously went like going right. Well, my right, for it was straight. But like yeah, and then I just sat in my car like in silence for 10 minutes because I was like, what just happened?
So you were looking at this lane going right,
Yeah.
and you
So
saw this had been emptied out.
that the left hand side from where the cars were going
Yeah.
from had been emptied out. There
No
were
one's
no
left.
other cars. And then that split second when the light turned red on that side of traffic, I looked and there was a car in the middle of the intersection going right. Or my right for it straight.
Are you sure you didn't zone out?
No. This wasn't one of the moments where like I dissociated because it was like heavy traffic during that time. So obviously I'm focused. And I was just so silent for like 10 minutes because I was like, what the hell did I just see a glitch in my simulation? Isn't it? Yeah. So
You need to update your firmware in your brain.
No, actually, that's crazy, right? Like, I probably sound so crazy. I don't know if you guys have experienced anything.
I've not experienced
No.
a glitch in the Matrix or
I'm trying to
this.
find logic around it because
I tried to as well. For those 10 minutes, I was like, what did I just see? What just happened? Did I, did anyone else see it?
it's hard for me to believe because when you see like glitches in the Matrix, it happens through a grainy camera or
Yeah.
whatever, and those can easily be tampered with,
Yeah.
even the time and stuff.
Yeah,
But it happened
but-
to you in like naked eye.
Yeah,
I
like
feel
your
like-
eyes saw that,
Yeah.
like not
Yeah.
a video.
Yeah.
Weird.
But I feel like even stuff.
You should have followed that car.
I should have.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
be like, wait, where'd you come from?
Yeah.
Like from space.
The alien. But yeah. So I
Yeah.
firmly believe in glitches because I can't explain that to this day.
Interesting.
And if anyone is watching this, if you've seen a glitch,
In
comment
in
down
the
below.
universe.
because I need someone to relate to. Otherwise, I am actually crazy.
Yeah,
When did that story happen to you?
Maybe last year.
Damn.
she's been waiting till this moment
Yeah.
to tell
It
the
was-
story to
it
the
was-
world.
And I sound like, like in horror movies when that little kid's like, Mom, Dad, like, there's something in my closet. And the parent's like, nah, you're fucking crazy. Like, shut up. Like, I feel like that child right now.
The older you get, the more
Yeah.
you question.
Yeah.
Do you guys think pigeons are real?
Yes, because my backyard has a frequent visitor.
No, but do you think they're government spies?
Oh my god, this is the other conspiracy theory, isn't
That's why I
it?
said pigeon at the
Okay.
start
You
of
can
the
train
video.
pigeons quite well.
They used to be, they are domesticated.
Yeah, yeah.
Just got
Well,
abandoned.
they're government spies.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen a baby pigeon? You have?
Yeah.
Damn, I have
I've never
never.
seen a baby pigeon. I've seen a nest, but I've not seen a baby pigeon.
That's why people, and pigeons stare at you. That's why people think they're government spies. Because they just stare at you.
Yeah,
and
but they have to
don't-
look at you like this because their eyes only look that way. and that
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
They can't look straight like us.
Yeah, but
And their
obviously,
eyes are big and round
obviously
like a
the
camera
government
lens.
made them to be like that so they could fit in with every other bird. You know what I mean?
No, it's
They
'cause-
can't make a bird that looks straight because, you're not a bird.
What if I
Spies.
taught a seagull to just shit on you every single time? Every single time you left the house, and it's just you get in, like, you're reversing out of the garage, and it just, like, turd everywhere, like, seagull shit.
I would actually suffocate you at night. I would hate that. I'm so scared that when I'm walking in public, a bird's gonna shit on me. That's my number one biggest fear. Because I won't know what to do.
Yeah.
That happened to him.
Oh yeah, while I was in the city, I was walking back from uni, and a bird shit on my shoulder.
But then, obviously, you being you, you'd know exactly what to do.
Yeah, clean it off and
Yeah,
keep walking because I don't
I-
have a change of clothes.
I would probably start crying.
What?
And,
No one even told me. I went inside the store to get a drink, and the girl was like, "Oh, like you have some bird shit on your shoulder." I was like, "Fuck's sakes!" Like, here we go. It's only happened twice in my life that I've been shit on by a bird. Well, should we wrap it up?
yeah, I
Definitely.
think we should wrap this video
Yeah,
up now.
yeah. But want to say thank you so much for supporting us and continuing to support us. I'm gonna be editing this video, so it will take a little bit. Gotta learn the whole process and also juggle a bit of other stuff in life. But hopefully I'll have it out soon. But
All of our social medias will be down in the description below.
mhm.
If you like this video, or if you have any other conspiracy theories to add, or even if you want us to make a part 2, then leave a comment down below and
Yeah.
make sure to like and subscribe and give us a follow on all of our other social media platforms.
Leave your own conspiracies in the comments. Tell us where your dad went, for instance. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he ever come back? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
Let us know.
Yeah, let
Mine
us
disappeared
know.
for months.
We'll get into that in another video. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Okay.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.